Hello and welcome to Finger Guns with Tony, Dave, and James. I am your fearless co-host, Dave Baldwin, and here I am with
Tony B.
and
Jimmy.
Woo! That was weird. We're trying a new format tonight. We're all recording in a different spot. So we're hopefully the kinks will get ironed out on this one, just because I had a bit of a minor COVID scare and, I didn't want to give my boys COVID.
Pandemic's not over, folks. It's still here. But yes, bear with us. We are recording over Zoom, so Dave and Tony may show up a little bit odder on the audio, but you get to hear me loud and clear. And Dave and Tony can just... Y'all can suck it.
Jamming.
Sure.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine. How are we doing other than the COVID? How are we doing tonight?
I'm pretty good. It's night though, and it is almost past my bedtime, folks. So if I fall asleep halfway through, just like knock on the screen or something, and I'll try to wake up.
You're such a old man, bro.
It's true.
I'm 31 going on 96.
Jesus.
Buddy, I've been burning the candle at every single end it could possibly be burnt at this week. I am fucking exhausted.
Hey, you had a task of a lot of movies to watch, and you almost came through completely. So I'm really, really proud of you. Considering everything.
Thank you.
I'm very proud.
Thank you. Also, shout out to single parents everywhere. If you are kings and queens among humans, you deserve more than a day. You deserve more than Mother's Day and Father's Day. You deserve a whole month because, you go through a lot.
Yeah.
So cheers to you.
Shout out to single parents.
Not that my wife is dead or anything.
No. She's very much with us.
She just can't help out right now.
Yeah. That's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. But we don't need to talk about personal stuff. Nobody gives a shit about that. They want to hear us talk and bitch about movies. So with that, I think we have come almost to the end of Fantasia.
Almost? What is still left? Isn't the festival done?
The festival is done, but the hits just keep coming.
My
Finger
Lord.
guns.
Dear God. Dear God, everybody.
So here's a couple. We had a couple of ones we were embargoed on, and we had a couple of stragglers.
Yep.
So why don't we start with one that I know the three of us all watched? It's a little film called The Harbinger.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it was fun.
Yes. Honestly, since the pandemic started, it created a genre of films cheerfully known as pandemic era films. Some of which are just like tangentially pandemic.
Yeah.
Some are all right. Oh, there you go. You're back. Some are pandemic era films of the tangential relation. It's just like you can tell watching it that it's it's like small sets, small cast, designed to be very small, and that's great. And some are very much like, hey, COVID's a thing, and it's a thing in our movie. And some of those work. Some of those hit a little bit too close to home and make me just not want to watch it because I'm like, bitch, I'm living it. Like, I don't need to see it on screen. I know it. I would like to say that
it's not entertainment when you when you're like, oh, I'm living through this. Like, this isn't fun for me.
But I will say that Harbinger was one of the few that I thoroughly enjoyed for how it started and everything that it was kind of doing. I thought it was a very good way to use the pandemic as a way of like really pulling on those themes of isolation and loneliness and dreams and existence and whether you were really here or not. So I liked a lot of the ideas that it set up.
And being forgotten.
Yeah.
Legacy.
Yeah. Your mark on the planet sort of thing, or your mark on people's lives.
I dug that a lot as well. I like the themes. I like that. Yeah, COVID was a big part of this movie, but it wasn't. You didn't feel like you're like, oh, like we're living it. We don't need to see this. It was like, okay, yes, you're tapping into how it actually went down. Like this will be an artifact later if we ever get out of this thing, or if monkeypox or whatever the fuck pox ends up taking over again.
Yeah.
But or pandemic 2 electric boogaloo. But I do think it's a good artifact, and I really dug it. There's a couple of contrived parts and a couple of parts that were like genuinely unsettling.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, falling through the roof.
Yeah. And then like in the corner, she like turns in the doorway, and then it's just sitting there in the shadows, and then it like comes through, like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Or even right after the kid falls, and it's just like the giant face coming through the door. I was like, what the sweet Christ?
Yeah, definitely some horrific images there. And I really dug that. You guys are going on about the pandemic and how the pandemic is very apparent. I didn't like the movie because of that, because I'm just like, holy shit, like I'm literally reliving this, and I do not want to relive this. It's almost like it's too soon to like go into how much apparent the pandemic was. Like it just reminded me of 2020, and like it's just something that I don't want to be reminded of. Like maybe like 10 years, maybe like 10, 15 years down the road, maybe, but like it's for this, it was just almost too real for me.
Yeah, I understand that, and I see where you're coming from with it. It was just, to me, the difference that set it apart for, I can't remember that other pandemic movie that we watched, sort of the beginning of the pandemic, that was like...
are you talking about Songbird?
Yes, Songbird. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. We watched that, and that I didn't like because it was... Well, it wasn't COVID specifically. It was very much a virus that forced a pandemic, and it was just that... The time it came out,
it was COVID-23.
That was it. Yeah, COVID-23.
COVID-23. Yeah.
The time that
Michael Bay.
The time that it came out, and the way that it was set, that was the point of the movie, was there's a pandemic, and then you dealt with sort of life within it. Whereas this, to me, was using how one feels in the pandemic to play on the fear and the horror and what Dave and I were kind of talking about existence. So that's why it worked for me. But I see where you're coming from with it being a little bit too close to home. But for me, I looked at it from the other side of it of, oh shit, yeah, it's using it as threads to get you into the fact that this being preys on you for specific reasons. And then what it does, I don't know, can I say what it does? I feel like
it makes you forgotten.
It wipes you off the face of the earth, like you never existed, which I think is like it's an interesting angle to think about, considering everything that we went through. But yes, I can totally see how some, like Tony, like you, would feel that it's maybe a bit too close to home, and it's too soon from what you just went through.
Yeah. And I can totally understand where you're coming from, and that's a fair assessment. It's just for me, it hit a little too close to home. It's like something that I don't want to be reminded of. But when they were in like the dream world kind of thing, I really dug that.
Yeah.
And I dug that whole aspect, the Freddy Krueger shit, and like almost like it reminded me a little bit of Candyman too, of just like the being like popping up like that. And how you're not allowed to talk about him, kind of thing. Because remember the one part when she brought out like the sign and stuff to the girl on Zoom, she's like, tear that up, like get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like, right.
Yeah. Yeah. It played into those fears really well. And then oh God, put it down, burn it. Dave just brought up a book on a video call, hilariously. The only thing I kind of wish is it explored its ideas a little bit more and maybe did something a little bit new. Cause I don't know, I figured out the ending a quarter of the way through the story, and I was like, all right, I know exactly how this is going to play out.
Exactly. Yeah, I was super predictable on that.
I
don't think that's a bad thing though.
The weird twist, I was just like, yeah, of course it's not gonna. This isn't gonna end happy. This isn't a happy ending.
Never meant to be. And I think you brought up Songbird, and I feel like it kind of exploited the pandemic and the feelings we're having. Plus, it also had to feel exploitive because like we were still going through the early stages of it, and it's all very much filmed accordingly. Yeah, where you can tell everyone is avoiding everybody. Whereas this one I didn't think was all that exploitive. I felt like it was genuine. It was coming from a good place. And just because Tony keeps saying, I don't want to relive it, I don't want to remember it, I want to kind of move on and stuff. It reminded me of something I saw on Twitter where pardon me, they were talking about the blip in Avengers and how 5 years went by and how people just kind of moved the fuck on and just got over it. And they just forgot about this collective trauma we all went through. Or they all went through. And now it's like, now we're trying to forget the collective trauma we all went through. And it's like, oh, it really is that easy.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, but I dug it.
I thought it was solid. I liked it more than I didn't like it. So it's I mean, if you feel like you can handle the content, I mean, if you want a trigger warning, pandemic, I guess. If that doesn't set you off, then I think there's something here to enjoy. If you're a fan of like a creepy sort of horror movie that deals with themes on the pandemic, I think there's something there to enjoy. But if that's a thing that's going to set you off, maybe don't. Not right now. Maybe come back in a few years to it.
That's fair. And the Harbinger itself was creepy as shit.
Yeah, man. Plague
Super
doctors, fucking creeps.
Jesus.
Yeah. That was an unsettling one that kept me up.
Yeah.
But one I didn't watch that you boys did was a film called What to Do with Dead Kaiju.
Yeah.
This movie was frustrating, man.
Sell me.
So fucking frustrating.
I mean, so, okay, here's the premise. A kaiju was attacking this Japanese city. They defeated the kaiju. The kaiju was defeated by a giant beam of light that of unknown origin.
Back to that, eh?
Yes. It was defeated. No, this happens off screen. You don't see it happen. And now
they do like a newsreel thing of how like it comes to be at the beginning.
Like there's a kaiju
Jurassic World,
kind of,
but like Japanese, right, James?
Yeah. Yes,
more like Japanese style.
Yeah,
so it's like very like in your face, and you're just like, holy shit, what the fuck am I watching?
Yes, kaiju attacking a city, giant beam of light of unknown origin defeats kaiju. Now there is a dead kaiju floating in this river in the middle of a Japanese town. That's it. Here we go. Start the rest of the movie where we talk about
scene.
And then hilarity ensues.
Hilarity. I'm sure there is hilarity in here if you're into frustrating bureaucracies and maybe you're like in tune with Japanese politics and maybe this like plays better. But oh my God.
It kind of reminded me of like Doctor Strangelove, of like them fighting in the war room, but it was like very like over the top. So like Doctor Strangelove is already over the top as it is. So like take that and then like multiply it by like 5 or 6 and then you get what was going on.
Yeah. There's one of the ministers runs in the room screaming around the chair, the president, and makes 2 laps and then exits the room. And I just, what?
Yeah. And they're just fighting over what they want to do with the fucking dead kaiju.
Yeah. There's a lot in there that I think could be really interesting, but there's a lot that it's just too much.
Yeah.
It's also way too long.
Super long and unnecessary. Like they could have tightened it up for sure. could have like like as James says, like they explore some things, and like if you understand like Japanese politics, you might be more into it, but like I don't know, it trailed off, and then it went in different directions, and then you think that something's going to happen, and then it didn't, and then it just continued on for another 20 or 30 minutes. It was a frustrating watch.
There was also like a lot of like fart jokes and dick jokes and just odd choices for humor, and like a weird fight scene taking on place on top of a corpse. One of the ministers of Japan falls into the giant hole left in the kaiju and like is like flailing with her feet in the air. It's all very
about
silly.
The mushrooms, man.
Oh yeah, there's the people
who getting like infected with like the like bacteria from the kaiju. They grow mushrooms on their body. Yes. Basically, and then it turns into a little joke because like the minister gets like mushrooms and like they're trying to like cover it up, and then like I don't fucking know.
They were like, oh my gosh, he's covered in mushrooms. What's that mushroom? It's not a mushroom. Get it? It's his penis. Dick. Yeah. So
very childish humor. It was very weird. Very
so
weird.
You guys don't like madcap Japanese satire?
Nope.
No, can't say I'm a fan.
I think Tony and I found a genre of film that it's just not really our cup of tea.
Yeah.
Madcap Japanese satire. It's okay. It's for some, but not for me.
Yeah. It's like a one and done thing. Like you do it, like you try and get like your toes wet. And then if you don't like it, maybe it's too cold, then you just take them out and leave. That's what I thought of this movie.
I mean, it's a cool premise. Like, okay, what happens after like a giant Godzilla kaiju movie? What do you do with the corpse of a kaiju?
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. Like the title sold me right out. Like I didn't like when we were going through the list, I saw the title and I didn't even look at the synopsis. I just immediately wanted to see it. So like they do a good job of grabbing you for sure.
The premise is cool. It just the execution just didn't work. Didn't work for me.
Yeah,
or Tony apparently.
I agree.
So it's a no from me, dog.
Okay, calm down, Randy Jackson. Seriously, you're not. This is an American Idol or whatever the hell he's on now.
I don't know what he's on now, but that was American Idol life.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't press the red buzzer. This isn't America's Got Talent.
Okay, none of that shit.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let's pivot to another title. James, you didn't see this one, but I still need you to see it. It's called Speak No Evil, and you guys can razz me all you want. I saw it at Sundance. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Rudy Tutu.
Yeah. Must be nice.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I just want you to know that I'm saying it with my mind.
Okay. Either way, this one it fucked me up in January, and I've been shook ever since. And I watched it again, and I'm still just like I feel it in my bones. I'm like getting like goosebumps just thinking about it.
Okay.
It's just very, very unsettling. It's about a couple with their child who meet with another couple on vacation, and they kind of bond and stuff, and everything's good. And at the end of it, the couple that they met up with is like, "Hey, look us up sometime and come hang out with us." And they kind of go back to their lives, and they keep thinking about that couple, and they call them up. And they're like, "Hey, let's hang out." So they go to their, I guess it's a farmhouse type thing, or like it's
like a cottage.
Like a cottage. They go there, and as Tony likes to say, hilarity ensues.
Right.
Except it wasn't. It wasn't hilarity, James.
There was no hilarity.
There was no hilarity.
Oh, that's sad.
It's just very stark and cold and upsetting.
And just like you're just scratching your head and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. I will say as a note, like I did watch about 25 minutes of it, but I was having issues getting the subtitles to work correctly. So I had no idea what was going on, but there are parts of that movie that were in English. So I kind of was there, but bleak was the one thing that came through almost immediately, just in terms of like shot composition and color and I was like, oh boy, this is going to be a trip. I just kind of wish I knew what they were saying a little bit more. So I am looking forward to it.
It was a trip, all right.
Yeah.
It's a journey. I learned, I don't want to spoil it for you, James, but I learned a life lesson from this film.
All right.
That I will take with me for the rest of my life.
Okay.
It involves your children's stuffed animals.
Oh, great. Tony's upset about that too.
You always have more than one. You figure out which one they like.
You buy
more
three.
than one.
Yeah.
Maybe four.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe get a fifth one just in case, just to keep at grandma's house, you know?
Right. Sure.
Like,
yeah. But
James, I'm telling you, I made the mistake and I watched this movie in the dark at 2 a.m. and it was just a bad scene because I had to rock myself to sleep after, and it just was not a good choice. Very effective movie.
I think when I saw it at Sundance, I think I saw it rather late, and I had other movies to watch, and I was like, nope, I'm done for today.
That's enough.
That's enough.
It was like that one time. That was like that one time at TIFF, Dave. We saw we saw something, and we were supposed to go to Midnight Madness after, and we both looked at each other after the one movie, and we're like, you know what? Home sounds better.
Mother. It was Mother. Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it since.
Yeah, I haven't either. I really want to. Now that I know it's a Bible parable instead of just like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. Yeah.
But seriously, James, like this movie will stick with you. I want to watch it again. I don't know why I want to do that, but I want to watch it again because I haven't stopped thinking about that end. That ending is permanently like ingrained into my head.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I do. Yeah. As I said, I do really want to see it, and I can't wait to actually watch it with the ability to understand exactly what they're saying when they're not speaking English. So I'm looking forward to it, and it sounds super fucked up. And as long as it's not, Mother, I'll be fine.
It's definitely not.
No. In the sense of as long as it's not a Bible parable, I'll be fine.
It's not. No, it's not.
Because that is absolutely everything that I hated about Mother.
I thought that movie was it was a journey.
All right.
It was definitely a journey, just like Speak No Evil. It was a journey.
It comes out on Shudder next month.
Awesome.
So you won't have to wait long to watch it.
Excellent. I'm very excited.
Dope. Yeah, and I definitely know, like, if you're on Twitter and you're talking to you talk to any critics and they mention that movie, they all have the same reaction of just like, ooh,
cool,
doggy,
cool.
Yeah,
very excited. That's my cup of tea, man.
Well, until you watch it.
Yeah, sure.
It's not so much tea anymore.
Yeah. But
gasoline.
That's
gasoline.
Yeah,
that's something. That's one word for it. So yeah, that's definitely a yay. As long as you're good with just like having shit seared into your head that you'll never get out.
Oh man, into it.
And then
I think that's honestly, it's probably a good segue into one of the last ones that Tony and I saw, which was Megalomaniac.
The one that won the top award.
The top award. Yes. And by God, that movie's seen some shit.
Speaking of endings that are seared into your brain,
my
Jesus
God,
Christ.
Yeah, it's okay. So setting the stage here, there was a killer. Oh yes, yeah. Get your scene lens out. Yes,
get your frames
there
out.
There was a killer 20 years ago that was butchering women and cutting them up and leaving their body parts all over the place.
Oh, that sounds like a fun-filled family adventure.
That's how it starts, my friend. And then
Sunday family film action. There you go. Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, the intro explaining that ends with, and they haven't been active for 20 years now. And then you get to watch a horrifyingly raw birth, complete with like a woman's eyeballs like completely blood red because of like, it's just horrifying. There's blood and viscera everywhere. It is a mess. It's happening inside a house because of course it is. And
visceral, if you use Dave's word for
it. If you're a fan of David Baldwin and his interview on Global TV, visceral is a word. That
it was a good way to describe it,
It's
guys.
very visceral, very visceral. Yeah, and then it spins off from there. You jump a little bit forward into the future, and there's these two siblings, and one goes to work, and she seems a little bit meek and quiet and shy, and her brother becomes a mass murderer in his father's footsteps.
Takes up his father's mantle, man.
So his father was the original killer from 20 years ago, and now he's taken on that. I also kind of liked what they did there, Tony, with at the beginning, because like it didn't seem like he was already killing. It seemed like he was just about to start when he was sitting in the car there, and then he saw his father down the alleyway, and he was like holy shit, like this nature versus nurture thing. Like he's his father's offspring, so now he has to start killing women and cutting them up and leaving their body parts everywhere, kind of like a cycle that keeps on going. But he's half the story, but not even half. I would say he's a quarter of the story.
He's a quarter of the story. It's more about the sister.
It's more about Martha, the sister, who works as a janitor, and stuff happens to her at work a lot. And
does anybody scream Martha?
Unfortunately not.
Oh.
And then you just sort of watch her over the next 90-ish minutes by the time you're at this point of her psyche breaking.
Just a slow descent into madness.
Yeah. And it comes to a head where, well, the cycle's got to continue.
And then this is where hilarity ensues.
Yeah.
Hilarity ensues.
It's a lot. It was heavy.
You sold me on it. Like,
yeah.
I'm
it's
there.
just it's like a real slow burn. Like, don't get me wrong, James. Like, it was a very like I really dug the color palette on it. Like the cinematography was really well done. I really like the atmosphere. It reminded me a lot of like John Carpenter's atmosphere of like that dread. And then but it was just almost like it was too slow. But then once it gets to that like dinner scene, then from there it's like balls to the wall right to the end.
Yeah, but it's it's slow at points, but you're just watching someone just slowly crumble in front of you, and you can't stop watching. It's like watching a train wreck that is going to come. You're just watching that train slowly come to collision with that wall, and you just can't look away. And like the shit that you're seeing happen is heavy and hard to watch at points, and it is all sort of like left there. There's very little left to your imagination in this one. You are right along for that ride the entire time, and it's a lot. But
I guess I'm getting the family together to watch this one.
Get the whole family in there.
Part of that, James, this has to do with the lead actress. The lead actress was absolutely incredible, and like just watching her crumble over the course of the movie, like it was very heartbreaking to watch. It was devastating. It was emotionally devastating, and like I kind of liked her chemistry with the brother, because like the brother played the very like he was like that very like straight edge kind of guy, and very and like just like very creepy, very creepy, very unsettling. And like you could never, when they were like, especially when they were having like those dinners, and like you could cut the tension with a knife, man. You just couldn't tell what he was going to do. He was very unpredictable.
Yeah, and a big shout out to Elaine Schumacher and Benjamin Ramon, who are the two leads, Martha and Felix, and
they were fantastic.
Crushed it. That movie cannot work without both of them delivering
for sure
great performances, and they both do.
Yeah.
So it won for a reason.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I'd say so. Yeah,
it's a very clear reason why it won, and I haven't seen Speak No Evil, so I can't really say whether maybe Speak No Evil maybe could have edged it out yet. But Tony, what do you think between the two?
They're two way different movies, and I feel like Speak No Evil hits you more like a sledgehammer, versus what is it called? Megalomaniac. Yeah. That's like the slow. I would say like that's like the slow knife, and it's like twisting, right? So it depends on what
calm
you
down,
want.
Talia.
I know, right? Talia. What the
Talia al Ghul.
Talia al Ghul. Good reference, Dave.
Thank you.
It just it just really depends. I would say like Megalomaniac just like beats it out narrowly, only because Megalomaniac was shot a lot better, and I liked visually better than Speak No Evil.
Yeah, solid
So
recommend.
we're
I
talking
think.
top two. Or is these two?
I didn't say that. I definitely have other winners. I'm just saying Speak No Evil is definitely one of the ones that are going to stick with me for a very long time.
All right. Well, I don't want to jinx it that we're nearly done. I still have a couple I want to just kind of like clean off.
Yep.
But there's two more that we watched that actually are coming out immediately. In fact, I believe one is coming out the day this is being published.
Awesome.
And it's called Baby Assassins.
Yeah.
Ooh, this one was fun.
It's already on a streaming service called Hiya, which I didn't know existed. And then it's on Blu-ray and digital on the 16th. And I'm going to say it was refreshing that we watched a Japanese movie versus Korean.
Mildly refreshing.
Mildly refreshing.
I mean, Tony and
Just
I watched. I think Tony and I watched a few more Japanese titles than you did over Fantasia, Dave. So, mildly refreshing for us, but maybe very refreshing for you.
All right. And it's just about teenage assassins and the hilarity that ensues with them and them kind of living their lives and trying to be normal when they clearly are not fucking normal.
Yeah.
They didn't want to be normal. Their handler wanted them to be normal.
Yeah.
They
Get
just
a
wanted
job, sir.
Just get a part-time job. No, I want to assassinate people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm good at. I don't want to be flipping burgers. Or where was she trying to? She was trying to get the job at like the convenience store, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that whole convenience store part was just, this movie was just fun. It was just brainless fun. And the two leads, I think the movie doesn't work without those two leads for sure.
That's fair.
Yeah, it fun, I think, is the correct word for this completely. Like they're having a blast. You kind of get to have a blast because of it. It's just fun. There's nothing deep here. It's two teenagers that assassinate people and they live together and they're friends. And so they have squabbles and like they're normal fucking people, but they just assassinate people at the same time.
Also, can we just point
The
out
movie writes itself.
Yeah, assassins can be real people too, James.
Yes. Yeah.
These girls were in high school, weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were about to graduate.
They were literally
Yeah.
about to graduate, and they're like making like thousands upon thousands of dollars for just straight up killing.
Yes. I liked that shot of the Jell-O where it was like the camera was strapped to the plate of Jell-O and it like, that was fun.
That was funny. That was fun.
And then they went back for the Jell-O. They also played a lot of DS.
When they were about to dig into the dessert, and then they get a call that they had to go, and they put it back. Yeah, that was a good scene.
It was fun, whimsy,
refreshing to watch because I think I'm pretty sure I watched that after one of the heavy ones. So just like getting that like palate cleanser was nice.
Yeah, you didn't feel like you needed a cold shower after this one?
No, I wanted to watch it again immediately. Like it was just a fun movie, man.
Yeah, I really liked it. That was my in between Dark Glasses and Next Exit movie, and it was fun. It was a nice little.
That would do it.
That would be nice. Yeah, yeah,
that would do it.
Yeah,
that would do it.
So I think it's a recommend for us. Yeah,
definitely. It sounds
recommend.
like a recommend.
Do it.
Yeah. Especially because it's actually available right now, as opposed to us telling you about all these fun movies that are
might come out one day.
That are coming, soon.
Yeah.
And you should just remember.
Just write it all down. Yeah.
Just write it all down. Well, we'll have this in the minute. Somebody is taking the minutes and you'll know which films you should watch.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start a Letterboxd HQ and then we'll just have all the movies we watch in every
Hey,
episode.
that's not a bad idea.
Yo, that's actually a good idea.
We should probably do that. I don't know why we haven't done that already.
Yeah, seems like a missed
get on it.
opportunity on our
I'll
part.
get on it.
I can do it.
All
I can
right,
do
Dave,
it. You've done
fine.
enough, James. I can do it.
Thank you.
Dave is the connoisseur of Letterboxd. He is the reason why the two of us did get it.
today.
I'm just so glad that you guys finally did it.
Yeah, tonight on behind the scenes with finger guns. What we plan on doing with Letterboxd. Dave's taking on. Who's taking our minutes? I don't know. Bear
Bear is taking on our minutes.
Bear is taking the. Bear can't write. He can't write.
You got to get a crayon. Crayon the minutes.
Sure.
What do we got next, Dave?
The last one we're going to talk about for Fantasia this week.
Jesus Christ, is it over yet?
Almost.
We're almost there.
Almost. We loved it so much. We just want to keep talking about it.
Yeah,
Apparently,
it's the festival that never ends.
It is.
I'm good with it. I'm
all right. I'm all right. This is Fantasia's a good time.
And once you get on this ride, you can't get off.
If Fantasia just runs for a whole year, like, all right, sure. I guess I'm just watching weird shit all year long.
Weird shit.
I'm into it.
And a couple of, some wholesome stuff.
Yeah, naturally.
Into
in between
murder and chaos and hilarity.
I was hoping you'd say hilarity.
Obviously. This one is another one with hilarity. It's called Glorious, and it comes out on Shudder on August 18th.
Yes.
And
it was quite glorious.
A man and a god in a rest stop bathroom.
Yeah.
The god is J.K. Simmons.
It's a two-hander. It's a two-hander. And just what is the gentleman's name from True Blood? Tony, you were a big fan of him.
Ryan Quanten.
That's the one.
I got you.
He's the lead. He's the lead in this film.
Yeah.
And he just went over. He just had a bad breakup, and he's going through some things. He's sad, and he ends up at a rest stop, and he burns shit. He gets really, really drunk, and he loses his pants. As you do.
It happens.
It happens sometimes.
And then he goes in the next morning. He wakes up. He's still kind of fucked up, and he goes to go vomit in the bathroom, which is disgusting as it is. And then a gentleman starts talking to him from the other stall, and he finds out that he is a god, and hilarity ensues.
Yeah. And truly it does. It is quite humorous from a good chunk.
The deadpan J.K. Simmons, because you never see him. You just hear his voice. And just deadpan J.K. Simmons is the best kind of J.K. Simmons.
100%.
I just love his voice.
Yes.
He just
voice work. J.K. Simmons is just such a treat, such a joy.
Like he's a brilliant character actor. And he always is every time he's in something, he's always inspired. And it's just, he just like zeroes in.
He embodies the character.
Yeah.
And embodies the character no matter what. Like it's just his voice in this movie, which is
that's nuts. What I was going to say. It's crazy how much he embodies this god, and he's literally just the voice. Like you don't see him at all.
Yeah. So
he attempts to look at him a few times.
Well, I mean, you don't see J.K. Simmons.
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, you do see parts of the god, and that is horrifyingly terrible.
It's something.
Yeah, I thought the CGI work wasn't too bad in this. I thought the lighting really helped, and there was that one scene that's kind of animated.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. Like it was very this is a low budget COVID movie, but it looked more high budget than it probably should have.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm assuming I'm assuming like a third of the budget went to J.K. Simmons, a quarter went to Ryan Quanten, and then the rest was spent on like the actual visuals and everything else because it looked pretty good. But You know, you got to pay that JK money.
It's almost entirely in the rest stop.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And then it's one of me and Tony's favorites. It's less than 80 minutes. Beautiful.
79
Beautiful.
minutes. Like, what more do you need?
Perfect runtime.
Yeah.
They get in, they get out. Like,
yeah. Slightly longer. It's like a Depew and a bit.
Yeah. No notes. Just like we need more storytellers like this that can tell a compelling story that quickly.
Yeah.
And like, you don't need anything else. You literally don't need anything else. Because you piece together what happened.
Yep.
Yeah. And like, I don't think you needed literally anything else. And Ryan Quanten's great.
Yep.
J.K. Simmons is great. And, you know, it's over the top and it's wacky. And there's a third act pivot where I was just like, we're going there.
Yeah.
We're going there.
Yeah.
And
that pivot was a little weird.
I thought it was a great pivot because it took me by surprise.
Oh yeah, you definitely don't see it coming. You're not thinking in that direction, and that's why I was like, oh, it's kind of weird, but it almost works in its favor, right? Because like the whole movie is just like kind of fucking out there, so like
it changes the entire dynamic of what you've been watching, which I really like.
For sure, absolutely,
yeah. But it's a journey.
Oh yes,
yeah,
a journey.
It's graphically violent.
Yeah.
There is a lot of blood.
All the movies we've been talking about are graphically violent.
Fantasia, man. What do you expect?
Fantasia.
Buckets of blood, man. Come prepared.
There's always a splash zone.
Buckets of blood.
Yeah.
Can I just say though, like he runs out after he was puking and he's trying to get the soap and the soap dispenser has nothing.
Yeah.
But the soap dispenser right next to him that he doesn't look at is full.
He's having a moment.
He's having a moment, man. Like, leave him alone. He needs to get his shit together.
And I really like the deadpan humor, like where J.K. Simmons says something he makes a observation and it just sounds hilarious because it's J.K. Simmons, or when he's trying to lecture him or whatever and he's like, I gotta piss, like he stops to take a piss.
Yeah
Like, it doesn't take away from the movie at all, and it
just adds to it.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. It was fun.
Yes.
I'm glad we had an opportunity to see this one.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and check it out when it comes out.
Yeah, you don't have to wait too long.
It's 79 minutes. What do you have? You can do so much in 79 minutes, but what you could do is just watch Glorious instead, and I think that's the better choice.
Agreed.
I'll make it 85 minutes because you got to sign up for Shudder first, which you should already be doing if you love horror.
Yes,
but
Shudder's dropping those bangers, man.
Truth.
Left and right.
Truth.
But I think we're just about done Fantasia. I think our next episode, maybe we'll just kind of sum it up.
Sure. I think we can finally sum it up after 4 episodes.
4 episodes? God damn.
Yeah. We had a lot to talk about.
A lot of Fantasia.
To talk about.
Thank you, Fantasia.
Yes, thank you,
big ups to Fantasia.
Thanks for having us. We really appreciated it.
As we said when we announced that we got the accreditation, if you give it to us again, we'll come to Montreal. We swear, we'll do it. It's a promise from me to you, from Dave to you, from Tony to you. We'll do it.
Finger guns
to you.
Finger guns.
And let's talk about something maybe a little less violent. I don't know. We're probably still going to be talking about a lot of violence, but we had some good feedback to our discussion about 1992 films.
Yeah.
And this past weekend, I like that I'm trying to talk as if we're in the future, but we're in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, the weekend that's coming up for us and the weekend that's just passed for you, they brought back Steven Spielberg's E.T. the Extraterrestrial to brought back. It's brought back to theaters. It's in IMAX for the first time.
Yeah.
And that got us thinking that maybe we should cover some 1982 films.
Yeah. And also it's just, we did 92. Let's wind that clock back a decade and see what happened in 82.
Yeah.
And what better way to start than with E.T.? I mean, fucking E.T. is legendary.
It's true. It's so wholesome and it's so lovely. And you just
100%.
like Reese's Pieces, man.
You
like
piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Come on.
Absolute classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't help but feel happy leaving that film. Like it is like it hits you in the feels at the end. It hits you in the feels all the way through it. I fucking love E.T. and I haven't seen E.T. in like 15 years before this weekend. Like it's been a long time.
The last time I watched it was a VHS tape.
Yeah, that sounds about, I might have seen it on a DVD. Like that's physical media was definitely what I watched it on.
Can I tell you guys a secret?
Yeah. If you say you've never seen E.T., you can leave this podcast.
I got 20 minutes into the movie.
Oh no.
And then I came to the realization I have not seen E.T. in its entirety.
Okay, that's fair.
Like I haven't seen it from start to finish ever. I've only seen it from pieces to pieces to pieces to pieces because I remember certain.
Are they Reese's Pieces?
Reese's Pieces, obviously.
Yeah.
Because like I recognize certain scenes,
sure,
and then other scenes I'm like I don't remember this happening.
Sure. Oh, okay, that's fine. So
did they have walkie-talkies or did they have shotguns, Tony?
This is the question.
Okay, then you're okay.
You don't watch the.
There was always
recut.
Shotguns.
No, not always.
No, not always.
My Blu-ray has shotguns. What are you talking about? This business.
So when he recut it in 2002 when they re-released it, and he edited out the shotguns and put in radios.
Yeah.
Oh, at that scene at the end when he's like,
yeah,
that's fucking
a radio.
Stupid. What a fucking tool.
He got a lot of backlash.
Don't you talk about the king like that. You do not talk about the king like that.
I'm sorry, but that's a tool move. So
he got a lot of backlash. He got a lot of backlash. He took him out again.
Good.
He replaced it back with the original footage because a lot of people were like, why? Who asked for this?
Yeah, exactly.
Who said that we needed this? And he didn't really have a good answer, so he put it back.
That one parent, that one Karen who just yelled at him for it.
It's because he's changed he's grown as a filmmaker, right? And then when E.T. came out, I don't think he had kids at that point versus now that he does have kids. So he was less hardcore type thing as it were. Like he's come out and said in interviews, like he wouldn't have children killed in Jaws now if he made it. And
sure.
And spoilers, Richard Dreyfuss probably wouldn't have left his whole entire family to go with the aliens in Close Encounters if he made it now.
Right.
Oh, that's how it ends?
Oh, yeah. Spoilers, Tony.
Spoilers.
Another movie that I haven't seen from start to finish.
Neither have I, but I know what happens, so it's not a spoiler. Tony, it's been like 50 years.
Yeah, I know. Statute of limitations are gone, but
45.
Fine.
All right.
But still,
statute of limitations
fucking time.
The statute of limitations on a movie, the spoilers for a movie that everybody that is a classic are over if it's 45. Like, are you gonna come at me if I mention what Rosebud is?
It's the sled. It's the sled.
Spoilers for fucking.
Yeah, no, you're not missing much. It's fine.
It's true. You're not.
It's really not.
It's no. But we're not talking about Citizen Kane, boys. What are we fucking talking about? We're talking about E.T.
We're talking about the Citizen Kane of 1982.
Fucking E.T. This movie is absolutely perfect in every way. And if you guys read my Letterboxd review, I had put out an open challenge to anybody to bare knuckle box me who disagrees with it not being a timeless classic.
I don't know why anyone would ever take that challenge. It's a dumb challenge.
That's a dumb,
super dumb challenge.
It's a stupid challenge.
Yeah,
it lost to Gandhi. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because I had to watch Gandhi.
Come on. And then he casts Sir Richard Attenborough in Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let him live.
Yeah.
Because apparently he dies in the book.
Oh. Yes. Yes, I did read that. Yes.
He dies in the book. I think he's the one that gets all the little dinosaurs all attack him.
Yeah.
That it happens in Lost World, I think, like to some random characters.
Yeah. But anyway, again, E.T.
fucking T,
the
boys.
goat.
Get on the
goat of
page.
1982 still hits me in the feels every single time. And I also just related to E.T. I just finished up watching the docuseries on Disney Plus about ILM. And they talk about E.T. and like the work that they did on that and like just understanding the craft of what they were doing at that time in 1982 and pushing sort of the boundaries of VFX. And then watching E.T. shortly after I watched that episode that covered about the 1982 phase, I was like, oh shit. Oh, you start noticing stuff and you're like, fuck, that's so cool what they were able to pull off and why it still to this day holds up so well. Like it still looks great. I watched it in 4K and it was incredible to watch with that much detail.
Yeah, for sure. Everything looks better back then. The last like 10, 15 years, it's all going to look like trash.
Well, I mean, until Marvel decides to change their color grading scheme. Sure.
This is true.
Shots fired.
Beige garbage.
And maybe, pay the effects artists what they deserve.
Yeah, exactly.
Double shots.
This isn't 82. Anyway.
E.T. boys.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
Henry Thomas.
Yeah.
Anytime he shows up in anything, like even like Dr. Sleep, where he was like super creepy doing Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
I'm still just like, bro, you're still Elliot. Where's E.T.? I don't buy it. I don't buy that you're a creep.
E.T. sitting here watching Dr. Sleep in his home planet and going, the fuck, Elliot? What is this?
And he's also super creepy in, oh God, what is that? Gerald's Game. He is so creepy in that movie.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, yo, E.T. would be furious with you right now, Elliot. He would not be pleased with you.
He, like from E.T., that man took a weird trip down into the horror world and just kind of never left. But good for him. Good for him.
Drew Barrymore started doing hard drugs and almost died. So,
look, she really loves the rain. She really loves the rain. E.T. fucks you up, man.
Apparently E.T. fucked up a lot of people.
Yeah. Anyway, digressing from the goat of E.T., there's not much that we can really even say about E.T. What the fuck are we talking about? Like it's the greatest movie of 1982, bar none. I don't give a fuck. So
it's arguably one of the greatest movies of all time. I'm going to go that far because it's
on a list.
It's on Spielberg's best though.
Definitely Spielberg's best.
Is it Spielberg's best? Oh,
Raiders, Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan,
E.T.,
West Side Story, Minority Report.
Are you really putting the Post and like
100% the Post? No.
West Side Story was great though.
West Side Story was great.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put it among his best.
I would.
Of his later stuff, yeah, I would. Yeah. His later stuff for sure, Tony. Like I just mentioned the Post for Christ's sake. Yeah. Like, come on.
He's nominated for Best Picture. Come on now.
Let's not.
You want to talk about Spielberg's best? War Horse.
Look, E.T. is man. S tier Spielberg.
Okay, that's fine. I will take that.
It is top echelon Spielberg.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yes. Yeah. We can't put a number one assignment. I think he's made too many very good films. Bangers. But if we can class tier them, that's sitting in S tier.
It's a real tough job he has. That all he makes is bang.
Yeah,
it's just oops all bangers.
Yes. Oops all bangers.
He has a real tough. But we could talk about Spielberg for literally hours, and like The Fabelmans is my number one at TIFF. Like Tony, we got to see that movie. We need to see that movie. Hell or high water.
Do it up. I believe in you.
We're gonna see it. No matter what, I need to be in the room with the man, the myth, the legend.
You know, the chances of us getting those tickets, like, slim to none, man.
Hey, you got to do it. You got to try at the very least. Senor Spielbergo waits for no one.
With that kind of attitude, Tony. With that kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Anyways,
let's move on from the GOAT of 1982 to.
We didn't talk about the Thing. That's also a GOAT.
That's way up there. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I've lost count of how many times I've seen The Thing, including in film.
But The Thing was not one of the ones we were going to talk about. One of the ones we're going to talk about it. Last time we had Reservoir Dogs, which we had all already seen. So this time we tried to do something a little different with movies we've always wanted to see. And one that I've always wanted to see is Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
With Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger. This was one of his first huge movies.
Yeah.
And it was
very early Arnold.
Yeah. And it's directed by John Milius, who wrote Apocalypse Now and Dirty Harry movies. And he co-wrote this with fucking Oliver Stone, which is nuts.
Definitely high on cocaine.
I don't think he co-wrote it. I think maybe like Oliver Stone wrote it and then he like did the next pass. But either way, well, Scarface came out the year after, so clearly Oliver Stone was high on cocaine.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell. And I also want to just point out, fuck James Earl Jones. I didn't think that man could make me hate him, but like, fuck, man, he was a real dick in this movie.
Hey, man, he's a friend to the snakes.
That luscious hair, though.
Yes.
That luscious hair.
Gorgeous.
Jesus Christ.
Gorgeous.
That was a choice for
luscious.
Sure.
I was like, why is Darth Vader doing this guy so dirty?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Like Mufasa, calm down.
Yeah. Mufasa, just calm it. Like we just take a minute.
It was weird seeing him in this kind of role.
Yeah.
Very weird to see him in this kind of role. But I guess Conan, it kind of reminded me a lot of the Northman. His family is, butchered in front of him, and he is enslaved, and then he is freed, and then he swears revenge, and hilarity ensues.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like they could have called this like montage the movie. There's just so many montages.
Montage and narration the movie.
Yeah.
It's
just
like
so much.
You're just telling me what's happening. You're not really showing me anything. Even over the montages, there's just more narration.
And for a swords and sandals kind of movie, like I know he was more of a Viking, but like swords and sandals, like there's like one maybe sword fight.
Yeah.
Like everybody else is just getting their asses stabbed. I want to see, like, there's a scene where he's like playing with the sword. So clearly he did some sword training.
Sure.
And I know it's one of the scenes that, like, at least on Crave, that's the scene that they chose for the, like, to pick it.
Yeah.
For the algorithm. But I know that's a popular scene. And it's like, but I didn't get to see Arnold fucking do some sword fighting.
No, exactly. I don't know. I was bored by it mostly.
So very bored.
I just.
Well, I wasn't bored. I was just. Yeah. Okay. I didn't like how it was a Christ metaphor.
No.
And he's literally fucking. He's literally on a cross.
Yeah. Crucify him. I'm like, okay. We're going right for it. All right.
Because like when he got beaten and they keep like panning back to him, I'm like, he looks like Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And also the second, not the only movie this week I saw where somebody fights a vulture and takes a bite out of it.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
That was weird.
Yeah.
The whole movie was fucking weird, man. Like I'm watching it and I'm like, the amount of times I said to myself, I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Like there was that one scene where I guess he was having sex with a witch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He like goes like full like demonic on him. I was like, what the fuck?
I don't
and, like
even.
the Speed Force or some shit like comes out or like I don't fucking
he like
know.
chucks her into a fire.
And he just like he's just like fuck this shit and he hucks her.
Also,
boys, if you stick your dick in crazy, and there's a fire right there. Are you not?
throw the demon witch out.
You throw the demon away.
It also was a lot of a lot of fucking Arnold yells and yelps and like what really bad impersonators tried to do for Arnold, but me notwithstanding.
Like that one scene when he's getting like beat, I'm assuming, like when he's like in like he's like in fighting the guys and stuff. It was just like him grunting.
Yeah.
At one point, I just thought he was like having sex because that's what it sounded like.
Yeah, and there's also some weirdly overdubbed lines that made him speak better English that I thought was really funny.
Oh, like I said, it's one of his first like major roles.
Yeah,
and like it's not perfect. And if they made this movie, apparently Jason Momoa literally this week was trashing the remake that he was in.
Sure.
If they made this movie today, I feel like it definitely would have been stretched out longer, and it might have been like a whole trilogy. Because like I was like, this feels like an ending right here. This feels like where they would be like, okay, cut, next film type thing.
Yeah, it was weirdly too short and too long. Like it wasn't paced correctly. But yeah, I honestly was sitting there. I'm like, this feels like it's supposed to be like a 3-hour epic, and it's 2, but like it's focusing on the wrong things. And then you get to the end, and then it's like, and Conan will return, and that's a story for another time. And I'm like,
that was weird. That was weird, especially because they never made the King Conan movie.
No, they did make a sequel though.
They made a sequel, and then,
but they never did the King Conan thing. Yeah,
they kind of made a spin-off as well, but they never
Red
made King Conan. Yeah, Red Sonja, but they never made King Conan, and they talked about it since, but they never made it.
Well, they tried. They tried to get it made, right? And then like, didn't they have problems with like Arnold? Arnold was like the governor, and then like Arnold was too old to be Conan.
I don't think he's that, like, he looks old as shit at the end of the movie.
Well,
like,
obviously, I'm just saying, like, these are things that prevented it from happening, because I do remember them trying to get it off the ground.
No, what prevented it was he was signed for a bunch of movies, and then he was in the Terminator the same year the sequel came out, and then he was suddenly like, yo, you got to pay up a little more for me.
Yeah. You see this shit? Pay me. Run me my check.
Fuck you, pay me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But all of that to say, I know we're picking on him for like the English and like that he's not Arnold yet in this movie. It's like Arnold Begins type thing. Yeah. But you can still see what a presence he is, like what he like, that he can do the humor. Yeah. That like everything we've come to know about Arnold Schwarzenegger, minus him banging the nanny and letting her bring her kid who looks just like him on vacation with him. Minus that, but like everything we know about his screen persona, it's all there.
Yes,
it's all there. So it's not a perfect movie by any stretch, and it's peaks and valleys, like you said, and for some reason it just gets increasingly violent. Because like at the beginning I'm like, oh, this isn't that bad, like I get it, there's some blood and whatever, and at the end of the movie it's just like vicious violence. You know, it's the same thing, just people getting stabbed. But I still thought he was great, and you know, the spark is there.
Sure.
And the hair is glorious. I love the hair.
Obviously the hair is glorious. That goes without saying.
Yeah.
No. You guys weren't a big fan?
Didn't love it.
No, I fucking hated it.
Did not. It was my least enjoyable out of the 3 that we're going to be talking about besides E.T.
Yeah.
E.T. sits on its own. I'm putting E.T. back on the shelf. It sits over there. But Conan was my least favorite of the 3.
Putting it on the pedestal?
Correct. And it can stay up
on
there.
the pedestal?
Yes.
Putting E.T. on the pedestal.
I'm putting E.T. on the pedestal.
You can't put the pussy on the pedestal.
Oh my God.
No, this movie was painful. very, very high peaks and very low lows.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
That's fair.
Really
That's
cool
fair.
moments spread out between a lot of things that I just bored me to tears.
Yeah, man. Like
Also-
yeah.
Also, like so many extras. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like they made that movie today, there'd be like 5 of them.
Yeah. And the rest would be all CG.
Yeah.
There
And,
wouldn't
like,
even
just
be 5 of them.
pasted.
There'd be like one guard that had to interact with Arnold, and then everyone else would be CG.
Yeah.
Wow. Like you have to admire. You have to admire what they used to go through.
insanity of what they had to pull off in
Yeah.
order to make these giant epics. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it's incredible. Nothing short of incredible. Because it would all be CGI bullshit now.
Yeah.
Except for Arnold, who is his own CGI effect.
Correct. He's a presence, a force to be reckoned with in everything that he is in.
This is true. So tell me about the Dark Crystal. That's the one I missed, boys.
I don't, I would love to tell you about the Dark Crystal, but there aren't enough mushrooms in the world to get me into the right state of mind for the Dark Crystal.
Is it like the Matrix? You just have to see it for yourself?
Yeah. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
I got another secret to tell about this movie.
Is it that you've never seen the Dark Crystal?
No, I thought it was Labyrinth this entire time.
Were you just sitting there the whole time waiting so when does David Bowie come out?
Precisely. I was like, I'm watching it, and I was like, so David Bowie's showing up soon, right?
Oh my
Like,
god.
he's just gonna have like a rock moment. Like where the fuck is David Bowie at? And then
it's funny you say that because I swear to God, I thought I had Dark Crystal, but I bought it on 4K, but it was Labyrinth.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like I got no words. Like I got 20 minutes into the movie and I realized David Bowie was not coming. And I was like, wait, I thought this movie was something completely different the entire fucking time.
Oh my
I saw this movie like a
God.
couple days ago. Like, you know how long
Yeah.
I've been waiting to tell you guys this?
Yeah, that's so
Because I wanted
funny.
to text the group and be like, guys,
Yeah.
I thought this was Labyrinth.
It's so funny. Oh my
That's
god.
hilarious.
I love that so much for you. I'm so
love it.
happy that happened to you. Oh, that's so good. I mean, otherwise, like it's Jim Henson and Frank Oz. You know what? The puppet work on display, incredible. The puppets that they use, especially for like the Gelflings, fucking insane. And the fact that there's
Outstanding.
so many close shots that are close-ups of these puppets, and they look incredible. None of that work took me out, and like the seamless transitions that they made between using like a live set that looks exactly the same as the small puppet set that they used, that looks exactly the same as the miniatures that they built, like everything flowed perfectly together, and like none of it took you out. So like, again, talking about sort of like visual effects back then, and just the way that they were able to craft this world that thankfully none of it was based in reality. Like it was all based on like a completely made up world, a fantasy world, but which helps suspend your belief a little bit. But like everything blended perfectly together. When it was a puppet, when it was live action, when it was miniature shots, like all of it was just like, it was mind blowing to watch. And like Frank Oz and Jim Henson, masters of puppets and costume work and in sets, and just insane to see. I mean, the story was nothing. It's you've seen it 1,000 million times.
Someone's the chosen one. They got to rise up, save
the world,
humanity from enslavement.
But everything leading up to that, all the adventures that you kind of go on and everything that you're watching, it's a visual feast for your eyes. And yeah, you do need to be the correct amount of high to, I think, get the proper enjoyment out of this. But when you do, oh man, it is a trip. I also think it would be kind of fun to see. I know it's got a little bit of a cult following, so if they ever did like a screening of it somewhere, I think that would be kind of a cool treat. But On my own,
That's
I
fair.
mean, it was fine. The story was nothing. I was just more sitting there like watching the visuals and being like, holy fuck, like this is wild.
And even the art direction and the sets, man, like there was so much work put into this movie, and it was a visual feast.
Yeah.
And like I didn't get to see it in 4K, but like I can imagine like the 4K of this movie would look insane.
That's fair.
So it's a solid recommend. Just like temper your expectations on it overall, but like go in expecting like something very cool to see, and like put yourself in that time period of 1982 and just be kind of blown away about what you're watching.
And don't expect David Bowie to show up.
You do not
Unfortunately,
expect
David Bowie doesn't show up.
Yes.
I'm sorry for your loss, Tony.
Yes. Well,
Sorry for your loss.
unfortunately, he can't show up ever anymore.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace. Rest in power, sir. Anyway.
There's a new doc coming out about him too. That's a TIFF.
Cool.
Yeah. It's an IMAX.
It's on the list, right?
All right.
It's on the list, yeah. But it comes out during the festival, so.
All right, maybe not.
But the last one was your pick, wasn't it, Tony?
Yes.
Yes, it was.
It was 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte.
And it was Eddie Murphy's breakout hit.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Sense.
I knew. I didn't even know this movie fucking existed. Let me just start there. I never even heard of it.
Obviously, never 48 Hours. It's huge.
Never knew about it.
Man.
Didn't know it existed.
Man, when people talk about Eddie Murphy, they bring up this. They bring up this movie all the time.
I've never heard anyone bring it up. Everyone talks about Delirious instead, which
I think
credit where credit's due. But yeah.
Maybe it came out, or Raw came out that year.
Maybe it was Raw.
Either of the two.
Yeah, one of the two of his specials came out that year. What a fun buddy cop movie. Kind of.
It was a lot darker than I thought it would be. Like I was like, gee whiz, this is gonna be fun. He's gonna stick the banana in the tailpipe. It's gonna be great. And then it's like it's more of a fucking thriller than it is a fucking fun buddy cop romp.
Oh, there's fun moments, but it's also peppered with a lot of 1982 racism.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That was uncomfortable.
It didn't age well. That was my one gripe against it. I remember texting Dave, and I was like, "Yeah, this movie's pretty solid, but like, definitely has not aged well."
Yes and no ish. I think the bit that happens at the country bar, the Confederate country bar, I think has aged fine because it was appropriately poo-pooed in the movie. It's like, these people suck.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that part. It was the other part. It was
the bit about when Nick Nolte kind of loses it and says some
that's the part I'm talking about.
Horrifyingly racist shit, and then all he does is kind of apologize at the end. And Eddie Murphy's like, whatever, man. Like, it's like, I don't know.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of. Yeah, even then I probably would have been like, why?
Yeah,
why?
And especially after we just went through the entire thing in that Confederate bar, it's just like, you've already just kind of showed us that it's
not okay.
So why does he get to kind of get away with it for until the end of the runtime of this movie?
And like how toxic that they like just stopped the movie so they could beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah. That was weird. But like it's directed by Walter Hill, I believe.
Yeah, Walter Hill.
Yep.
So that doesn't surprise me at all, because like he's kind of one of those directors that just does a random like cutaway to like stop grinds to screeching halt, right, to do something stupid like that.
But yeah, it was violent. Fucking Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul shows up for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And just like, it was more violent than I thought it would be and more thrilling than I thought it would be. And there's a bit at the end where there's smoke and you can hear the smoke machine, which is kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
All of that to say, I watched Predator earlier this week.
Yeah,
so
sure.
it was weird seeing Sonny Landham show
Yeah.
up, and his name is Billy in this as well.
Yeah.
And he also has a giant knife.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just that was odd. That was odd to say the least. And then fucking Tony, you pointed this out. Bob Sully from Commando.
David Patrick Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James, have you seen Commando?
Yes, I've seen Commando.
So you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Where he says he was going to kill him last.
Yes.
I lied.
Buddy, when he showed up, I was like, oh my God, it's Sully.
There was a lot of randoms in this. I'm trying to figure out who I'm thinking of, but it was
Is it James Remar?
That's who I was. That's who I was going to bring
Dexter's
up.
dad.
Not James Remar, but yes, he's in this as well. Yes.
He also plays Raiden in one of the Mortal Kombat movies, doesn't he?
He does, and he was in The Warriors, which is Walter Hill, but so is what's his name? David Patrick Kelly. Is that what you said his name is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also in The Warriors. He's
Yes,
the
he
one with
is.
the fucking bottles.
Warriors.
Yeah.
James, have you seen The Warriors?
I have seen The Warriors.
Fuck, that's a wild one.
That's a wild one for sure.
I'm
I'm due for a rewatch of the Warriors. The
What
Warriors,
the hell
Warriors
is this guy's
definitely
name?
out there. What was his character name, James?
That's who I'm trying to figure out, and I'm.
Oh, are you talking about Buddy from Blade Runner?
Thank you. Yes, that is exactly who I'm thinking of, and I can't remember his name. But yes, he is in it as like the other detective that's there. And
I'll find it for you. Keep talking.
I found it already. Brian James.
Brian James.
Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this guy. I
Yeah.
remember this guy's fucking face. He's that guy from Blade Runner. Yeah.
Can I also say that, like, would this movie be like an Italian's wet dream? Because the only decibel anybody talks at is like loud or louder. Like everybody's yelling at each other the whole friggin' movie.
Yeah.
And everybody's angry. At each
So
other.
angry.
Nobody's happy in this movie. Everybody's angry.
The movie starts off with yelling and it just never stops.
And like Nick Nolte treats his girlfriend like a piece of shit. And everybody treats Nick Nolte like he's a piece of shit.
Well, he is a piece of shit in this
I know
movie.
he is. And like the captain is like, I think he plays a captain in like God knows how many movies, and he's screaming at people.
Yeah.
Like it's just, and there's a random shot that's like continuous, like a continuous 3-minute shot where they're just like he's just like piecing together like evidence and stuff. And I was like, the hell is happening?
Yeah. Yeah. There's also whatever the fuck that scene was in the club where Eddie Murphy's trying to get that girl to go to bed with him. And I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Oh, man.
That whole thing was odd.
Just odd. Just so very odd.
And Sully's girlfriend, you never find out what happens to her.
No.
She's a she's a literal MacGuffin, and you don't even know what happens to her.
It doesn't matter.
I thought they got rid of her. I thought they kill her.
You don't see it.
I'm pretty sure.
No, you don't.
No, wait. So his character dies, right?
You don't even see him die. You just see him get shot.
I'm pretty sure both of them went off screen. Like she went off screen in front of him, and then they shoot him. I'm fairly certain I saw.
I don't remember.
That point,
semantics.
Since we keep talking about bus fights and bus shootings and stuff.
Yeah.
How did they figure out that they were driving the bus?
I don't
How did they figure that
know.
out? Because like literally they're just on the bus. Like they weren't following him properly to know he got on the bus. And like they just come out of the darkness.
Yeah,
just like shooting at them. I'm like, how did you know he was on the bus?
I don't know. They saw a shadow. I don't know. I got nothing.
Barely an inconvenience.
Did it?
Barely an inconvenience.
Did it matter?
No, it didn't matter. It doesn't matter.
This movie was 96 minutes, Dave. It needed to go.
Buddy, you were on the edge of your seat. You're like, oh, they're gonna catch him. They're like, what's gonna happen? Like, just fucking shootout, man. That's
there
what
were
you're,
a lot
that's
of
what you're looking
a lot of
the bit in
shootouts
the train station too. Like
yeah. Even in the hotel.
Oh man, that
yeah.
hotel
like
was
fucking
fucked.
going back in.
Yeah, it's an intense movie. Like,
Yeah.
like
Definitely some
like
intense scenes.
like you said, I was thinking tee buddy cop
Yeah.
movie. Like like this is like the movie everybody thinks of when you think buddy cops. And I was
Right.
like, oh,
You don't
this is more intense and
Yeah.
more dark than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
All that to say, like, minus the toxicity and Nick Nolte randomly being a racist.
Right.
Like, I didn't think it was too bad. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
It was solid. Solid.
It
movie.
was
Solid
my
recommend.
favorite out of the three we just kind of talked about.
That's fair.
That's fair.
I liked it.
So are you gonna watch another 48 hours?
No.
Apparently it's not very good.
Yeah, I imagined it wouldn't be. I don't know. It's something about like you see a movie like this, you go, oh, they made a sequel. Oh no, they made a sequel. It's like French Connection and the French Connection 2. It's like, why? You didn't need to. It's fine.
Said enough.
This was good.
You said
Yeah.
enough.
You said enough. Say less.
Say less.
Say less.
Well, I guess you
Less is more.
I guess you just jumped straight into Beverly Hills Cop then.
Which is something I've never seen, so I'd actually like to.
It's
Top tier.
something. It would be S tier Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy.
After I
Yeah.
watch Delirious and Raw again, because I mean, if you're watching Eddie Murphy,
If we're talking about toxicity,
yeah,
and he does have that red
Oh,
outfit.
that
thing
leather
is-
outfit. Oh man,
That's something.
it's a look
That's something.
with
Yeah,
the
he
lowest
stuffs-
lowest zipper known to man.
Jesus.
He's have you've seen them, haven't you, Tom?
No,
You
Oh, I
should.
thought you have.
never seen him. No.
But he stuffs the banana in the tailpipe.
Oh, does he?
In Beverly Hills Cop.
I know what he's talking about. I thought you said. Never mind. I
No.
thought you were going somewhere else. But yes, that scene is in Beverly Hills Cop, and
Yeah.
it is an all timer for sure.
Yeah, like it's a lot more tee buddy
Right,
cop.
right.
Very teehee. Very
Right.
teehee.
Violent,
Yeah,
but tee.
tee. Yeah.
But it's an all timer, James, and it's an absolute banger.
All right.
And the soundtrack is amazing.
All right.
Amazing.
All right.
And it's like wall to wall, like soundtrack, just banging.
Judge
I'm gonna watch it.
Reinhold, man.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch it.
Fucking
You don't need to
Reinhold.
sell me.
Fucking.
You don't need to
Reinhold.
sell me.
Isn't the villain Udo Kier?
No, it's
I thought it was.
no.
Is it the guy who
somebody
looks
else.
like Udo Kier?
Yeah. Hang on a second. Let me get it. You guys keep talking. I'll get it.
But yeah, I enjoyed 48 Hours. I want to watch Dark Crystal, and I didn't hate Conan as much as you guys seem to have hated it.
And, not everything is for everyone. And that was certifiably not for me. And that's okay. I'm okay with it. I'm okay to have watched Conan, gone through it, and I don't ever need to revisit it. I'm okay.
The guy's name was Steven Burkhoff.
I was close.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were very close with Udo.
Yeah.
I was close.
His filmography includes Octopussy
Ooh.
and
Good one.
Clockwork Orange,
Oh, yeah.
Rambo Part 2,
Ooh, Electric Boogaloo.
First Blood Part 2. That's a banger.
Outland.
Oh, Outlander with Sean Connery.
It's called Outland,
But it's Sean Connery, right?
but it's Sean Connery, yes. And a bunch of other random shit. Cool. But yes,
Is he in
just
Best of the Best?
I don't fucking maybe he's in Cherry Moon. That's something you'd like, right, Dave?
Hence, yeah. Apollonia. Yeah, I get it. I get
there
it.
you go. Anyways, moving
Oh,
on.
there we go.
There we
There you
go.
go.
So that's
3
80,
films, 1982.
technically 4 because we did talk about
4.
ET for a bit.
4. That's right. That's
We
right.
did.
4 films
did.
from 1982, or 3 if you're Dave. But yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
I guess we're gonna have to do 72 now.
Keep going backwards until film no longer exists.
I love it. It's a good time.
1922
when
is gonna be a banger of a year.
It's definitely gonna be a banger.
It's gonna be that'll be an interesting year for
Yeah.
cinema.
Yeah, I guess it's just Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and I don't even know what else came out around that time. Nosferatu, like
I think you're right. Actually,
it's gonna be an interesting. It's gonna be an interesting 1922. But anyway, that being said, let's move on to our usual favorite, the evergreen segment of the podcast, Dave's New Blues or Dave's New Collectible Shit, depending on what you what day it is.
Why are you calling it shit? Don't call it shit.
It's a general term. I'm not saying
Dave's
it
new
is shit.
collectibles.
Well,
All the
all right,
segments
fine.
is Dave's new collectibles.
I swear to Christ, Dave, if you pull out that fucking ceramic figure of the Joker's hand with the cards, I'm leaving. I'm out.
Well, he was trying to get me to buy a freaking $1,200 Raphael statue.
I can see that more than the Joker's hand.
Man, that Raphael statue
It's dope.
was dope.
$1,200, man.
But it's
I told
dope.
you I'd give you $250 towards it.
You have now just put that into the world that you were going to give me $250 for it.
I'm okay with it. I just want you to buy this fucking thing because it looks.
I hope your wife is okay with you saying that.
Tony, if you spend that $1,200, you can charge admission to see it. You can keep it under like a black curtain and have like a little donation box, and when you put in like $5, that's when the curtain rises up so people can actually feast their eyes on a $1,200 Raph statue.
Use that as a fucking.
Hey, you never know.
Jesus Christ,
Dave, what do we got?
I have a large box.
Oh no. I do like that this is a show and tell, and this Zoom setup facilitates a show and tell very well because you don't have to bring it with you.
It's true. So I had to get this. I spent way too much. I probably spent too much on it, and Alyssa's not happy that I bought it.
It's a
Funko Pop.
Oh, thank Christ. Oh my God.
It is a Funko Pop.
Oh God, he did it.
The penguin on his duck ride.
From
Batman Returns.
There it is. Yeah.
And I think he actually has he has penguins behind him too. So
that's adorable.
Yeah, it's cute, right?
Yeah, the duck really ties it all together with the wheels.
It even has the wheels. Yeah, I had to get this. It spoke to me.
Yeah, I get it.
Summer convention limited edition. It spoke to me. I had to get it.
You saw it and you're like, I need this.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Like I don't usually buy the bigger ones, but like this one I needed. And on the back, they mention Catwoman and the Penguin.
Oh,
and
cool.
I already have both of those too.
Good for you. For you. So it's a completionist piece.
It is a completionist piece.
Yeah.
But I find that, I didn't used to love Batman Returns, but now I adore it.
Yeah.
I adore it. It's probably my third favorite Batman movie of all time.
Well,
it's nuts.
That's saying something.
Certifiably nuts.
That's saying something. How many large Funkos do you have?
I have that one.
Yeah.
I have the Jaws one with the tank with in the canister. Mouth.
Yeah.
And if I knew that they were going to make the one with fucking Buddy in his mouth and it's all bloody, I would have picked that over the canister.
Yeah.
And then I have one of the diorama ones where Batman is punching the Joker off the ledge.
Right. Tony, do you have any big ones? Any large Funkos?
No, I kind of stay away from those ones.
They're too big for the shelf.
Yeah, I just got no room for them. Melissa will just like end my life if I get it. Small ones only.
Oh, that's fair.
That and they're way too much fucking money. Like, am I really gonna spend that kind of money? I'm just taking a shot at Dave, to be honest with you.
It's $40, Tony. It's not like it's $1,200 Raphael statue.
Yeah, but it's like $40. I'd rather it's
$40.
Pay $40 for like wild things,
You can't articulate that Funko Pop like you can that $1,200 Ralph statue that you can probably position in the exact pose that you want from your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episode.
Literally, Dave has texted me like 4 days in a row being like, did you get the Raphael yet? Did you get it? Just put it on layaway.
You gotta layaway. You can probably take out a mortgage and pay that off in installments. It's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, they have. I'm pretty sure they have a plan, like a monthly plan for it.
Jesus fucking Christ!
I'm telling you,
no man.
Oh my God, I love it.
I'm telling you, you're gonna regret it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, forever and ever.
I'll be okay. I'll look at my other Ninja Turtles memorabilia
Okay.
You're gonna regret it. Can
Speaking of Ninja Turtles, man, the new Ninja Turtles movie came out. It's pretty dope.
Sure.
The Nickelodeon one?
The Netflix one. It was pretty decent. I enjoyed it.
Speaking as a Turtles fan.
Speaking as a Turtles fan, but like it was more of like an extended episode. It was just like a 80-minute long episode. It wasn't like a real movie, which kind of sucks. But like they're literally making a movie out of the cartoon, right? So you can't really expect much.
That's fair. That's fair. Before we continue to digress, I just want to give big ups to GameStop. I know that we all have our issues with GameStop, but they pack this fucker like nobody's business. Like they made sure nothing was going to happen to this thing. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because
nice.
The last thing I need is a damaged limited edition fucking Funko Pop that I can't replace.
Yeah.
Shout out GameStop.
Shout out GameStop.
Yeah. Someone at their warehouse was like, you know what? This is rare. Let me put an extra layer of bubble wrap in there for you.
Friend of the podcast,
GameStop. I take a GameStop sponsorship. You can hit us up and it's fine. We're out here.
It's true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my new collectible for the week.
Cool.
We have a literal fuck ton of Blu-rays and 4Ks coming in.
Nice.
So stay tuned for that.
Great.
Cannot wait. Big ups to Shout Factory. Big ups to Arrow.
We'll do Dave's New Blues speed dating edition where he throws out 58 titles. And that's
what's going to happen.
And this, and it's going to be great. I'm into it already.
That's what's going to happen.
I love it.
Yeah. The sales, there are aplenty.
Excellent.
But it's getting a little late here at Finger Guns HQ. Or the 3 Finger Guns HQ.
Yes. The virtual HQ.
The virtual HQ. So I think that about wraps us up for this week.
Think so.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Give us your comments as always and your feedback. We love hearing it. And we'll be seeing you on the other side with more movie reviews. Until then, my name is Dave.
I'm James.
And I'm Tony B.
And we'll be seeing you.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.